you can ask on the chat box and we'll try to cater each and every doubt. Now, what is meant by criminal case, you can say, or what is meant by civil? So let us discuss. Question number 1. Who does the court case focus on? The accused or the injured party? So criminal law is for whom, guys? Can anybody? So criminal cases, guys, again I'm telling, focuses on whether the accused has broken the law, and civil will be aligned towards the compensation. So I'm giving you a hint. Civil law is for accused party, yes. Sorry, criminal law is for the accused party, I'm sorry. And civil is for the injured party. Now question number 2. What is main source of this type of law? Common law precedents and statute law. So I'm giving you example once again, friends. Criminal law is mainly based on acts of the parliament. And civil law largely developed through previous court decisions. So criminal law is something which is related to act, and act is basically related, act and laws are related. So criminal law is statute law will be under criminal law, and common law precedents will be under the civil law. Who make this kind of law? Who made criminal law, friends?
Criminal law or civil law?
Again, friends, civil laws is from the judge's decision. So if the judge is deciding, then criminal law will be from parliament and civil law will be from the judge. Now, who initiate legal proceedings? So again, friends, when you see the previous example, the legal proceeding first of all went to civil, because claiming proceedings are bound by the enforcement authority. Civil proceedings are bound by the injured person. So the affected, you can see, criminal law is from local authority and civil law is for anybody who is affected. So in the previous example which we have discussed, the affected person was the employee. So for compensation and payouts, which is most likely to outcome for the case. So for civil, civil law deals with compensation. And we have seen the example, the person went to civil court, the affected person has went to civil court for the compensation. So civil law deals with the compensation and criminal law deals with the imprisonment. So point number 6, who is responsible for proving the case? The state or claimant. Go to civil law and the state is with the criminal law, because in criminal cases the prosecution must prove its offense, wherein civil cases the claimant must prove their claim. If they're claiming for $20,000, then why it is $20,000? That needs to be proved. What is the standard of proof required? On the balance of probability, beyond the reasonable doubt. And this is the answer. Because criminal cases, again, friends, require much higher level of proof than civil cases. Civil cases require that it is most likely for the claim. So on the balance of probability, civil law operate, but beyond reasonable doubt, because in criminal law somebody could get to the imprisonment. So that needs to be very very reasonable if the person is going. Normally, how soon must legal action start? So again, friends, on UK, based on UK, then this particular thing changes from countries to countries. But as per UK law, so criminal cases uh, must start. The action must start within 6 months of the summary of offence. When in civil, it's 3 years from the discovery of harm. So, which are the main part of the law applied? HSW HESWA, friends. HESWA, this we have discussed just now, which is Health and Safety at Workplace Act, 1974. So again, friends, here when we say about criminal law deals with the breaches of health and safety. So that's why this HESWA Act comes under the criminal law. And civil law deals with the compensation. That's why this thing, duty of care, negligence, breach of statutory duty, comes under civil law, because based on this, the person can take the compensation from the company. So help with interpreting and type of law can be found in form of course, guidance, and industry specific guidance. Now let us discuss. So, guys, you want me to summarize all these things? All the scenarios which we have gone through, you guys want me to summarize? Okay, so I'm giving you a quick summary. So, first of all, criminal cases. We have discussed criminal cases focus whether the accused has broken the law. Criminal law is mainly based on these criminal laws are basically based on the act of the parliament. Parliament create criminal laws through various legislations. Okay, friends. Then we have criminal proceedings. These are bound by the enforcement authorities. And then again, criminal court push offenders to the jail. Now, let us discuss about civil. So, civil cases are focusing on compensation or compensating the person who suffered the loss. This civil law largely developed through previous court discussion. Civil law involved through judge decision in the previous cases. Civil courts basically deals with the compensation to the injured person. So here the person who is injured have to prove in the civil court their claim. If they are claiming the $20,000 against the injury, so they need to claim why $20,000. And this civil and criminal cases have different time limits, and which depends on the countries to countries. So criminal cases deals with breach of health and safety legislation, whereas civil law deals with the compensation arising from negligence or failure to comply the legal duties of employer. So I hope friends you understand about criminals and civil cases. Guys, nobody's answering. Shall I move ahead? Okay. So what is the key parts of health and safety management system? So health and safety management system consists of PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, and act. And I hope everybody has of us have gone through this particular cycle, where in planning stage we plan how to implement the thing, then in do stage we implement, and in check stage we check or we observe how is our implementation is working, and last but not the least we have act. If there is any loophole or anything, we will act to make sure that loophole has been identified and removed. So this is known as PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act. And how can you check? Basically, we can monitor the performance through KPIs, audits, and inspection. Through this thing, we can check. So policy and planning and organization. So basically, these are the clauses of ISO 45001, friends. If we are planning, so in plan stage we prepare policy, and planning the plannings, various plannings, and in do stage we are implementing, and in check stage we are measuring the performance, and in act stage we are reviewing about the continual improvement. So key benefits of introducing health and safety management system. These are the key benefits, friends. You will comply to the from the legal requirement, help deliver policies, health and safety policies, health safety environmental policy, and we will you will be seeing that there is an improvement of the management of risk, because you have preparing various policy procedures, and these policies and procedures will be implemented on site. And once they are implemented, then you will see that, for example, we have risk assessment procedures, accident incident investigation procedures. These are will be prepared and implemented at site, and you will be seeing that once they are implemented, there is decrease in incident, and overall safety management system of the organization will improve, and it will provide competitive edge against the rival companies or the companies nearby, and which in turn will increase the credibility of the organization in the international market and provide synergy with good business management. Oh, sorry. So guys, any doubt till now? HSMS Health Safety Management System. Okay. So how many of us are planning to go for IOSH certification, guys? Yeah, I would suggest you all to go for the IOSH certification, friends, because gaining knowledge is different thing, but after the gaining knowledge, we have to make sure we are also certifying ourselves through this through the knowledge. Because if you are until unless we are not certified, we can't what show the certification in front of the interviewer or in front of our organization. So I would request everyone for to go for the certification also. So policy is your commitment to comply with the laws and meet the responsibilities. Next step is provide planning. Planning for hazard identification, emergency management, risk management, all these things. So in planning stage, we provide various things like SOP, prepare various things like SOPs for hazard identification, risk assessment, emergency response plan, ERP, and many more. Then we have to organize responsibilities and ensure that each worker is capable of fulfilling them. So we have to make sure that each and every workers is able to fulfilling them. In order to do this, we need to provide them regular trainings at regular interval. So implement your policy, planning, and organization by putting it into operations. So once we prepare all the policy, we provide planning and organization. What we'll do, we'll put all the things into into our operations, because we need to implement those things. Until and unless we will be not able to implement, we cannot see the result or any deviation. For example, if you have prepared a risk management system or risk management SOP, then we have to implement that SOP. Until and unless we are not implementing, we cannot see that this policy has been well versed or not. So the only way you can find out if your plans are working is to measure the performance. And in order to measure the performance, you have to see on ground various situation. How can you measure the performance, guys? Can anybody? Monitoring KPIs? Yes. By providing targets. So this way, auditing, inspection, observation, we measure the performance, yes. And you have to make sure, friends, performance should be both short term and long term. You have to make long term observations also, like long term targets as well as short term targets also. Because for example, if you want to reduce the accidents and incident, you need to prepare various targets. For example, preparing of various SOPs, preparing of various standards, implementing. So these are the short term targets. And you at the same time, you have to make sure you prepare long term targets once you implement. So there will be different units. So each unit needs to be assigned with the targets. And again, once we have done all these things, then we regularly review. And if we find anything, then we need to adjust. We need to carry out adjustment accordingly. So when it comes to responsibility, what you need to do, you need to appreciate the key procedures so that you can understand when to act and when not to. We need to reduce reasonably foreseeable risks so as far as reasonably practicable. Adapt our health and safety management system to specific need of organization to support sustainability. So we need to understand, friends, we created HSE management system. Each organization has required different types of HSE management system. HSE management system for oil and gas will be different compared to HSE management system for a steel company, steel manufacturing. So we need to prepare specific HSE management system and try to implement, because then only, and try to make sure it is sustainable. It's not like that once we implement, then we will be not reviewing the performance of our HSE management system. Until and unless we are not reviewing, we will be not able to know the loophole. And if we are not able to know the loophole, again, it will be not sustainable. And make sure people are involved through consultations and participations. So what we have learned is today, friends, what does law require us to do? How does the law work? What are the key parts of health and safety management system? Civil law, criminal law, all these things we have understand, friends. Any questions so far, guys? I hope you're enjoying the session, guys. Okay. So friends, you can see here is the contact number of some of our staff. If you want to go for IOSH as well as other certifications, you can contact our staff. You can see the mobile number below of Miss Busha, Miss Nora and Mr. Mirza. So I am stopping here friends, my screen, and I am opening other screen. Give me a second.